What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Manos Speaks podcast. Somebody brought up the issue of making a righteous judgment, and I just wanted to touch on this really quickly because I think it's important, and I probably should have added it to the topic of yesterday. And so we are called to make righteous judgments, but like everything else, where do we get a framework of reference to do this the right way? Well, we go to the Bible. We look to Jesus. We look at those that followed Jesus 100%. We let God the Father, Jesus the Son, and Holy Spirit be our guide. And so in John chapter 7, verse 24, it says, "Stop judging by mere appearance, but instead judge correctly." Jesus continually warns us about making judgments based off of what we see off of first glance or what we hear from third or fourth source and never hearing it from the source directly. We do this a lot, though. We judge people based off of their past, off of what they wear, off of what they look like, off of their accent, off of their nationality, and so on. But God looks at the heart. He knows the intentions, and he knows every thought. I want to wrap up with 1 Samuel chapter 16, verse 7 says this, "But the Lord said to Samuel, do not look at his appearance or at his physical stature, because I refused him. For the Lord does not see as man sees, for man looks at outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart." And so what's the point? How do we make a righteous judgment? Well, sometimes we can look and see the fruit, but we never use our righteous judgment to tear somebody down. We never use it to gossip and to slander and to hurt other people or people groups. We use righteous judgment to stay away, to call out sin, or to help people come out of the life that they're living and come into the truth of Jesus Christ. And so there's a big difference between righteous judgment and judging that leads to sin. We never judge somebody. We never gossip. We never slander. We never tear down. We never make fun of. But when we judge righteously, when we say somebody is living it, like homosexuality is a very good example. So many people say that Christians are unloving and they're judgmental. When it comes to homosexuality and all the stuff that surrounds that, it's just another sin. And so sin is sin, but we're going to call it out because the Bible calls it an abomination. Homosexuality is no different than lying or stealing or anything else. And so when we say, hey, man, you're living in sin, God has not created you this way. God is calling you to come up out of that sin and to a different lifestyle. That's not judgment. That's loving. That's like if we're in a plane and we're flying in a plane and we have two parachutes and I say, hey, put this parachute on so you don't die in a crash. What are you going to do? Are you going to slap that parachute out of my hand and say no? No, you're going to take that parachute and you're going to put it on so that you can save your life. That's the kind of righteous judgment that Christians should be walking in. We walk in love. We walk in truth. We always lift up. We call out, but it lifts up. We call out to call them completely out into new life. I hope that helps you understand a little more about what righteous judgment looks like and what human judgment looks like. God bless you guys.